Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Physics Tricks. So let's start with friction DPP, and in this we have the first question. A block of mass 1 kg lies on a horizontal surface in a truck. The coefficient of friction between the block and the surface is 0.6. If the acceleration of the truck is 5 meter per second squared, the friction force acting on the block is. So this is the truck given, surface of the truck, and on this surface let us consider one block of mass 1 kg is placed. This truck is moving with an acceleration of 5 meter per second squared, and the coefficient of friction between the block and the surface is 0.6. okay, so by using this acceleration, firstly find out the frictional force. Friction force we have is mass times acceleration. Now why there will be a friction? Right, one block is placed on the surface of the truck. Why there will be a friction between the block and the surface of this truck? It is because of the relative motion between the block and the surface. Whenever there is a relative motion, there must be the friction force between the surfaces of the block. So over here 1 kg block, if there is no friction, let us consider there is no friction between the 1 kg and the truck surface, then what will happen? Let us suppose this is the block. Then what will happen? This surface of the truck will go forward, this block will be at the same position. Right, now why that block is moving with the truck? It is because of the friction force. The friction force which is acting on the block in the forward direction. Right, friction force which is acting on the block in the forward direction, and due to that that block is moving in the forward direction. So this is the friction force which is responsible for the block to move forward. So that friction force we can write mass of the block into acceleration of the truck. So which is equal to 1 into, what is the acceleration? 5, which is equal to 5 Newton. Now this is star mark. Why? Because we don't know whether this answer is correct or wrong. Why? Because firstly we have to calculate the maximum value of friction force. Now calculate the limiting value of friction force. Limiting value is mu s into n. What is mu s? 0.6. What is n? 10. So it is 6 Newton. Now yes, whatever acceleration we have calculated is within the limit of this limiting frictional force. So we can say that whatever answer we have got is correct. That is, with acceleration, whatever acceleration we have got, whatever friction force we have got, is correct. Now see, instead of 5 meter per second squared, if they give 10 meter per second squared, then what might be the friction force that we have got by using the acceleration? It is mass times acceleration. 1 into 10, it is 10 Newton. But what is the limiting value of frictional force? It is 6 Newton. That means whatever answer we have got by using the acceleration is wrong. We have to consider the limiting value of frictional force, and that is 6 Newton is the answer. But here in this question, it is the 5 Newton is the correct answer. So I hope this is clear to you all. Okay, so see here, fourth question. So this is the second question actually. A mass m rests on a horizontal surface. The coefficient of friction between the mass and the surface is mu. If the mass is pulled by a force F, the limiting friction between the mass and surface will be. So see here, this F will have two components. Number one, F cos 30 degree, and number two, F sin 30 degree. Right now, and this M will have mg and the normal reaction. So friction force will act in this direction, and that is F supposed to be. I'll write small f. Okay, so you can just equate the equations now. So as you can see, F is equal to F cos 30 degree, and that is root 3 by 2 F, equation number 1. Then we have normal reaction N plus F by 2 is equal to mg, and we know that friction force F is equal to, we have mu into N, which is equal to mu into, what is N? Mg minus F by 2, equation number 2. So this is also possible, and this is also possible, right? So mu in bracket mg minus F by 2, mu in bracket mg minus F by 2, and that is given in option 3. So I hope this is clear. So it's very simple. Next, a weight W rests on a rough horizontal plane. If angle of friction is theta, the least force that will move the body along the plane will be. Okay, so horizontal plane, it is given. Correct now. Horizontal plane, weight is W. If angle of friction is theta, so what is the least force that will move the body along the plane will be? Least force we have to apply. and that least force must be equal to what? The frictional force. So F must be equal to frictional force, and that frictional force we have is mu into its weight. So what is mu? It is the coefficient of friction, and that is equal to tan theta into W. So the least force that we have to apply is W into tan theta. So I hope this is clear. One more method is there. It might be possible that if you apply the force at an angle, right, at an angle alpha supposed to be, what is that least force we have to apply? So then we have F sine alpha and F cos alpha, and here the frictional force F, the normal reaction, and the W. So in this case, F cos alpha must be equal to the frictional force. Frictional force we have is mu into N. N we have is W minus F sine alpha. So the applied force we have is, as you can see, this is F cos alpha plus mu F sine alpha is equal to mu W. So F we have, and that is tan theta, mu is tan theta W divided by cos alpha plus tan theta sine alpha. This is the least force which we have, but yeah, here they have considered only the what is called as horizontal direction. So alpha you can consider 0 degree over here, 0 degree over here, and as you can see you will get the W into tan theta as the answer. So I hope this is clear. So it's very simple. Now sixth one, a heavy uniform chain lies on the horizontal table top. If coefficient of friction between the chain and the table is 0.25, then maximum fraction of length of the chain that can hang over the edge of the table. See, one uniform chain is given. So what is the maximum fraction that can hang over the table? So see, let us consider X amount is on the table. So due to this X amount, we have what is called as its normal reaction, and that normal reaction is equal to the whatever the uniform density is there into the length X, right? So this mass we have into G, right? This is the normal reaction. So due to that normal reaction, we have frictional force, and here total length, if you consider capital L, then it will become capital minus X length we have. So due to that, we have M as lambda L minus X, lambda L minus X. This is the mass into G, its weight, right? This must be equal to F. Why? Because then only it will balance now, you know. So F is equal to, we can write lambda L minus X into G. Now why I wrote this? Because this is the density times length, right? Always remember, density times length is the mass, right? Density is linear density, mass per unit length it is. Okay, so friction force we have is mu into N. N is lambda X into G, must be equal to lambda L minus X into G. So lambda G get cancelled, and here it is given mu as 0.25 X is equal to L minus X. So it is 1.25 X is equal to L, and as you can see over here, X is equal to L divided by 1.25, and that is, we have 100 divided by 125 L, which is 25 4s are 25 5s are, so 4 by 5 L indicates in percentage, if you want, you will get 4 by 5 of 100, which is we have what is called as 80%, right? So it is the 20%, 80% it will hang, isn't it? 80% hang over one edge of the table. Then maximum fraction of length of the chain that can hang over one edge of the table. So 80% will be on the table, and 20% can hang over the edge. Okay, so 20% is the answer over here. Okay, so in this question it is given starting from rest, a body slides a 45-degree inclined plane in twice the time it takes to slide down the same distance in the absence of friction. The coefficient of friction between the body and the inclined plane is okay. So in the absence of friction, this is 45-degree given. This is the body A given. This is body B given. So for this, time t1 is required, and for this time t2 is required. So friction is there over here, not equal to 0, and friction is equal to 0. And they told plane in twice the time it takes to slide down the same distance in the absence of friction. So time t2 is equal to time t2 is equal to given, and that is 2 times t1. Time t2 is equal to 2 times t1. So in this, acceleration is g sine 45-degree, and in this acceleration we have is g sine 45-degree, and here mu g cos 45-degree. So acceleration we have is g sine 45-degree minus mu g cos 45-degree, so which is g by root 2 1 minus mu. G by root 2 1 minus mu, and here acceleration is g by root 2. Chalo, so length it has to travel in time t1. So L is equal to, we have 1 by 2 a, that is g by root 2 into t1 squared, and this must be equal to 1 by 2 g by root 2 1 minus mu t2 squared. So as you can see, this will get cancelled. T1 we have is t2 squared divided by 4, which is equal to 1 minus mu t2 squared. So this will get cancelled. So mu is equal to 1 minus 1 by 4, which is 3 divided by 4, which is 0.75. 0.75, that is option 3 we have. So next problem. So there are 3 identical balls of mass m placed in a glass. All surfaces are smooth given. N1 is a normal force between A and B. A and B normal force is given. That is N1. So every action has equal and opposite reaction. That's why 2 N1s will come. Okay. N2 normal force between A and C. A and C normal force we have, and that is N2. N3 normal force between B and C, and that is 0 given. N4 normal force between B and glass. Normal force between B and glass. So from here it will come one normal force, that is N4, and from here one normal force will come, and that is N5. So now just see the angles. Over here we have 30 degree, over here we have 30 degree. So as you can see over here, this is 60 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree. Why? Because this is twice the radius, this is also twice the radius, this is also twice the radius. Equilateral triangle. So 60 degree, total 60 degree. So we have, this is 60, indicate this is 60. So N1's this component, I'll just change the color. So N1's this component we have N1 cos 60 degree, and N2's this component also same thing, N2 cos 60 degree. 60 degree it is right now. So N1 cos 60 degree is N4, and N2 cos 60 degree is N5. Okay, then we have N1's one component, N2's one component is Mg. So that is N1 cos 30 degree plus N2 cos 30 degree must be equal to what? Mg. So N1 plus N2 into root 3 by 2 is equal to mg. Okay, now n1s and n2s, this component are equal. So we have n1 sine 60 degree is equal to n2 sine 60 degree. Indicates n1 is equal to n2. So therefore n1 plus n2, instead of n2 we can put n1 in this equation. Root 3 by 2 is equal to mg. So therefore n1 is equal to n2, which is equal to mg divided by root 3. This is the answer. Now once we got n1 and n2, put in this equation. So n1 into 1 by 2 is equal to n4. So therefore n4 we have is mg by 2 root 3. Likewise n2 into 1 by 2 is equal to n5. So from this n5 we have is mg divided by 2 3. So I hope this is clear. Now if anyone has any doubt, they can always comment in the comment box. I'll try to reply to your comment as soon as possible. Thank you so much.